Hello, this is Dr. Jamie Fettig, and welcome to another training episode. Today, what we're going to learn is how to easily and willingly and happily get patients to refer more people in. Right? We all know that the best patients in the world to get are the ones who are referred in. Right? So how do we do that? How do we easily get people to come in? Right? So what I always say to you is, if you could get an average of one referral for every person who came into the office, would that be worth turning off your cell phone and listening for the next, 15 minutes? If you could get one referral for every person who came in from your regular marketing, if you really think about it, you wouldn't need to do much else external marketing unless you wanted to grow your practice rather than just maintain it. So that's what this is about, right? This training is going to give you an abundance of referrals without pulling teeth, nagging, cajoling, or any other unsavory means that we as doctors never want to do. So turn off your cell phones, hit pause if you can't focus on this right now. Hit pause and go get a pen and paper if you need to, right? Because there'll be stuff to write down in here. And because you want to remember to do it. And if you don't remember to do it, you won't do it. So quickly about me, one of the things I always do in all the trainings, if you want, fast forward a couple minutes, but I always like to tell people about me in case this is the first training you're watching. So who am I? I'm Dr. Jamie Fettig. I started going to a chiropractor when I was 4 years old. And when I was 8 years old, I had a headache so bad that my mom had to come pick me up from school. And what did she do? She brought me straight to the chiropractor. And I remember on the way home, sitting up in the back seat saying, when I grow up, I want to be a chiropractor, because my headache was already going away or gone. And I was feeling better. Now, fast forward to high school, people said, hey, we know you've always said you wanted to be a chiropractor, but you got to think about it. What do you really want to do? And I said, okay, well, I want to help people. I want to be self-employed, and I want to make lots of money. So what'll I do? I'll be a chiropractor, right? And that's what I did. Went to undergrad in 2 years, went to chiropractic college, finished in 3.5, graduated when I was 23, went straight into private practice. And within 6 months of being in private practice, what happened? Well, I almost had to file bankruptcy. Right? I was under the false impression, the illusion that if you just got good results, you'd make a lot of money. And unfortunately, that's not true. And, and if for those of you who still believe it, good luck. I wish you all the best of luck. This probably isn't the training for you, and I'm not the training for you, because what I learned is you have to market. If you want to make a lot of money, you have to become good at marketing. So I started studying and learning and reading books and going to seminars on all the different ways to market. Right. And then the next thing I learned in that process was you also have to have systems. And so this training is one of the systems that I implemented in my office that is super easy to do, that the staff are willing to do it because it's so easy. And that was it gets patients to refer in other people where they're happy about it as well. Right. So that's the system that I'm showing you today, something that I used in my practice as well. Now, fast forward a bunch of years, where was I? I had $1 million a year practice. I had a lot of overhead, right? Had the hassles of insurance and, billings and audits and note requests and all those other things, right? Had to deal with the 10 to 15 employees that I had on staff at any given time. And it was a headache. And I remember that Mary was laying on the table, and she looked up at me one day when I was talking to her, and I said, hey, Mary, if you just drink more water, you won't have to come see me every 2 weeks. And Mary looked back up at me and said, but Doc, it's just easier to come see you every 2 weeks. Right? And that was the straw that broke the camel's back. I sold my business. I walked away. I did internet marketing. I did, public speaking and stuff for a bunch of years. And then what happened was, a couple of years after that moment, I realized that, oh my gosh, what I could do is, if I sold weight loss, right? Wellness disguised as weight loss, these patients who would fight and struggle with me to make changes to improve their health will make all those same changes I always told them to make to lose weight, even though that's also helping them be well. And that's the motivation I found. I went back into practice for a couple of years because I realized that having a guaranteed weight loss system gave people hope, gave them, the willingness and motivation to actually want to change, and produced amazing, consistent results that the patients loved, and made a ton of cash at the same time. Everybody won, right? So that was 9 years ago now, right? That I actually found that out and went back into practice doing that again, right? Helping people be well through advertising and marketing, and bringing people in for weight loss and telling them all the ways to lose weight in a way that was to help them be well, right? So now let's talk about what is it actually going to take to get referrals from people. Now, doesn't matter if you do weight loss or not, chiropractic, acupuncture, any other type of business you have. This applies to all the businesses. Now, one of the key things is during the consultation, right? I'm going to teach you what to do in the consultation itself to help get referrals and make it super easy at the end. Now, I've done another training on how to do consultations, so I'm not going to spend a bunch of time on it. But the 4 key things that I do talk about to making a consultation great is, number 1, you have to get rapport with them. I talk about that detail on the consultation training, right? The day 1, you have to find out their hot buttons for all their symptoms. I talk about that on day 1, consultation training. I have another training that's separate for how to do the wellness disease scale. Again, it's a big key point. It's something I created, something I made up. But when you do it, oh my gosh, it's so easy. The patients get it. They understand it. And the biggest thing the wellness disease scale does is it stops patients from ever saying again, oh, but doc, I thought it was just going to be a couple visits. Can't you just pop me and make it feel better? Right? That's what the wellness disease scale gets people to see the real problem, which is their entire lifestyle of a degenerative lifestyle causing all the problems they're experiencing today. And it does it in a couple minutes, right? And then the last thing that the consultation is doing the closing script, which I talk about on the day 2 consultation training. But having a memorized script, just like you're an actor on the screen. When you watch a movie, when you watch a TV show, you don't think to yourself, boy, that person's just repeating memorized lines. No, you think that they're actually producing or saying that for the first time. And that's how well you have to have the closing scripts memorized in my world. Now, not going to go into them. I'm not going to go into detail, but here's what you do is right between number 3 and 4. Right between number 3 and 4, right after you do the wellness disease scale, right before you're about to go into the closing script, you ask this one key question. Now, this is not the only way to get referrals. I'm going to teach you a few more yet today, but this is key to getting them. Right before the closing script, you ask, when I get you these results, and you repeat all of their hot buttons. If that doesn't make sense, go back and watch the day 1 consultation. When I get you these results, repeat their hot buttons, will you refer your family and friends to me? I can't help them if they don't come in. So will you send them to me? Right? That's what you ask them. Now notice, have they committed to their care program yet? At this point, no, they haven't. That's why this is so key. I asked this of every patient who ever started care with me. Before they ever even said yes to the care, before I went into the closing script, I would say, when I get you these results that help you feel better and sleep better and have more energy at work and allow you to go play softball again because your knee gets better, and when I get you all these results, will you refer your family and friends to me? And I ask them the question and I make them answer. And guess what? Everybody always answers. Well, yeah, of course. If you got me all those results that you were just talking about, of course I'd refer my family and friends to. That's what they say. Now, great. What does that do? It sets up later when you go and ask for a referral. What are you doing? All you're doing is what they said they would do anyway. Right? That's why it's not pushy. That's how you shift it from being pushy and all those other things that we as doctors experience to just simply helping people do what they said they're going to do anyway. Right? People love to prove themselves right. And so if you ask them, when you get these results, will you send in your friends and family? Of course they're going to want to send in their friends and family because they don't want to be wrong. And they would be wrong if they didn't do it because they said they would. Right? So that's one of the key things that we do during the consultation is we ask that question of, when I get you these results, all these hot button things that are affecting your life and how we can get them better, right? Will you refer your family and friends to me? Now, you ask that on day 1, they say yes, right? On day 2, they come in, they start with care, right? And they start getting better. And now what happens is at some point during the care, somebody always says about how amazing their results are, how something different changed in their life, because you're asking that magical question that gets people to attribute all the positive changes to you. If you didn't watch that training, go back and watch that training, right? And then here's the question. Right? You see it right there. That's the magical key question is, when any patient ever says anything good about the changes and results they're getting in the office, the question that you and all of your staff should have trained to ask, should be memorized. And this is say it exactly like this. Who else do you know that wants results like that? Right now, one of my favorite things that I teach all the time and that I used in practice all the time is what I would say is that if you don't want somebody to answer no to a question, don't ask them the question that allows them to answer no. Right? Now, when I say that, everyone goes, well, duh, but then what do you do? Right? So many people ask, would you like to do this care plan? Now, they could answer no to that, right? So my suggestion is don't ever ask that question. And what the mind thinks is well, how do I get them to say if they want to do care or not then? And the way that you do it is you word the question differently. Right. So, for example, with this key to referrals, I don't want people to say no. I don't know anybody who might want good results like you're giving me. So, you could ask this question: do you know anyone that wants these good results like you're getting? And odds are the person's going to go, no, I don't. They might think about it for a little bit and go, no, I don't. But if you ask the question like this, who else do you know that wants results like that? Right? If you ask that magical key question like that, now their brain isn't thinking yes or no. Their brain is trying to think, well, who else do I know? And they're thinking about people. And they're much more likely to find someone that does meet the description of someone who does want results like that. Now, some people still go, no, I can't think of anyone, right? But they're the minority rather than most people thinking of who else actually does. Right. So that is key, right? That's why that question is big, huge, bold, right? Every staff member, every person in the office must have that exact question memorized. Who else do you know that wants results like that? Right? When you ask that question after any time someone said something great about the changes they noticed, you're much more likely to get someone to send you a referral. Now, you ask the question, they say someone's name, what do? Right? Well, here's the next little simple step that you do is you offer them gift certificates. Right? So in your office, you can go to Office Depot or Home Depot or any of those office stores. You can buy gift certificate paper for like $10, right? And it's all thick, pretty paper and glossed, glittery, whatever kind you want. And now you just print black ink onto that 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, cut it into 3 pieces. It's already usually divided up, right? You do that, you print off these gift certificates, and instead of being a coupon or instead of being, a free offer, it's a gift, it says gift certificate at the top. And it says this gift certificate entitles the bearer to 1 consultation worth $99, 1 free treatment, worth $77, 1, x-ray and exams, or whatever it is that you want to do, or whatever it is that you normally do, right? And when you're doing it for anti-aging or weight loss, I actually give you that type of stuff, right? But you give them a gift certificate, and you say, oh, who else do you know that might want results like that? Oh, I kind of been talking to John and trying to get him to come in because he's got a lot of the same problems as me. Oh, really? If we gave you a gift certificate to give to John, would that help get him in? And they'll be like, well, yeah, probably. Go to the front desk, go to wherever you keep them, grab a gift certificate and give it to them. Now, what do is you go one little small step further. And when he says, that patient, right, or she says, whoever it is, when they say, oh, I'm trying to get John to come in, what do is you write down in their file folder, John referral. So next time that patient comes in, you ask them, so did you give that gift certificate to John? Right? One little simple follow-up question. How did he like it? Did John like the gift certificate? Do you think John's going to use it? Do you want us to call? It opens up a conversation that you can just naturally have with the person now about what happened when they gave that gift certificate to John. Right? And so you write down the person's name that they said, right? Patient gave you a name, write that down and ask them by name, hey, last time I gave you a gift certificate to John, how did that go? Right? And when you do that, right, you're going to get a ton of people who will send you in patients because now a gift certificate holds a much higher perceived value than a coupon or a free visit or any of the other stuff that, people tend to do to get someone in the front door. And I believe you should do everything you can to get people in the front door. Remove all the barriers, right? I gave away free initial exams all the time to everyone, but now I didn't advertise a free exam, right? What I did is I said, claim your free gift certificate, right? The gift certificate's free to get you these $340 worth of tests for no charge, right? It's a totally different mentality about the value of what they're coming in to get now rather than just a free visit. Right? So now I told you I was going to teach you some more ways to get referrals as well. So here's one of my favorite ways, right? So when Valentine's Day is coming up, when Mother's Day is coming up, right? The easiest thing and the easiest way to get referrals, and it's great, patients love it, staff love it, right? Is what you do is what I call the roses for Valentine's Day or roses for Mother's Day. So what you do is you look on the schedule the week of Valentine's Day, you look on the schedule the week of Mother's Day, and you see how many people are coming in, not how many visits, how many people are coming in, and you order twice as many roses, right, for that week to be delivered in the morning or even the Friday before, but to be delivered early on in that week, you order twice as many roses as the people are coming in. And every person who comes in that week, you say, Happy Valentine's Day or Happy Mother's Day. Here's a rose for you. And they just get the biggest smile on their face. They love it. My doctor just gave me a rose. That's awesome, right? And if they're not a mom, right, here's a rose to give to a mother in your life on Mother's Day. They love it, right? Guys and women alike. Now, here's the key to making this work, though. You don't just give out the roses. What you then do is when after you give it to them and they love it, you now ask them, hey, do you want another rose to give to someone in your life? Right? Write that question down. Do you want another rose to give to someone else in your life? And of course, what is everybody going to say? Well, yeah, sure. Great. And now what you do is you pull out a rose, and what you have is you have gift certificates with nice ribbon, right? Not just a piece of string or something ugly, but a nice ribbon, paper punch the gift certificate, and literally thread the ribbon through the gift certificate around the rose, right? Above the petals, below the rosebud, right? So it stays nice and tight to the rose stem. And you pull out one of those roses with the gift certificates tied to it with a ribbon to it, and you give that rose to them to give to someone in their life, and you go. And by the way, it also has a gift certificate worth $340 that they can come in and use here if they want as well. Now, some people might rip them off. Some people might, not want to give it. Who knows? Who cares? Doesn't matter. Once it leaves your office, it's not your doing anymore. But what happens is that people take that rose and they do give it to people, and people do come in, right? People do come in using that gift certificate. Now, I do the same thing that I do here that I do with every referral. If I ask the person, do you want another rose to give to someone in your life? They say yes. I pull out a rose with the gift certificate. I say, here you go. And I ask them, so who are you going to give it to? Right? Just out of curiosity, I want to know. As a doctor, I'm curious. Who are you going to give it to? And they go, oh, my mom, Betty. Okay, great. And what do? I write down Betty in the folder, right? Betty referral. And this time I might write Betty Rose referral or whatever, but I write it down, right? Put it in their notes, wherever it is that you need to do it. So next time the patient comes in, then you ask them, oh, so how did Betty like that rose you gave her? She loved it. Awesome. Right? It's just that little extra step that really creates them doing something. Because if you don't ask them who they're going to give it to, what they end up doing is never thinking about who they're going to give it to, and so they never end up giving it to anyone. Right? That's why that step is so crucial. It's not just so we can ask later, right? It's also so that they will actually think about one specific person they are going to give it to. Right? And this is something you can, if you want, you can do other gifts on other holidays, right? You can give away turkeys. You can give away, on Thanksgiving, you can give away, healthy candy or even bad candy on Halloween, right? Hey, do you want one to give to someone else in your life? Sure. Have a gift certificate tied to it. Okay? You do it too many times in a year and it starts becoming not special, but you do it, 3-4 times a year and people love it. Patients love it. They give the stuff to the people in their life, and some of those people come in from the gift certificates. So another way. Now, in my training, right, when I give my trainings, I actually teach you 5 ways to get referrals that are simple, easy, wonderful like this, that actually works, that the patients will actually be happy about, that the staff will be happy doing, right? But I'm just giving you some examples, some practical things that you can do right now to make a difference in your practice. Now, one of the things that I talk about in most of my trainings is that the biggest problem that most of us doctors do is what we're all doing is we're selling people what they don't want. Now, that sounds funny, right? That sounds funny, but in reality, that's what we're doing is we're selling people what they don't want. And what do these people don't want? They don't want stuff that they need. They need pain management. They need drugs. They need supplements. They need all these other things, but they don't want that stuff. And that's the key to a successful business, is that you have to sell what people want, not what they need. Right? That's the key. Selling people what they want, not what they need. Now, when I say that, everybody goes, well, of course we should be selling people what they want. But the problem is so many chiropractors often go, oh, weight loss is beneath me, or anti-aging and aesthetics is beneath me, or helping people with cellulite and stretch marks, that's beneath me. And they let their egos get in the way, and then they never actually show people what they want because they think that's beneath them as a doctor. Now, here's the beauty of my systems. Here's the beauty of what I teach, is that Yes, I could see how weight loss might be beneath a chiropractor, but what if you were helping somebody get well while they lost the weight? Is that beneath you? What if you brought somebody in who wanted anti-aging and at the same time you helped them reverse or slow the effects of aging? You were doing that by actually helping them be well. Is that beneath you? Right? When you sell what people want, they pay you cash and they willingly pay you cash for it. Now, I know when most of us doctors, we're sitting here, we have tons of patients every day who complain about a $25 copay. And if you don't hear it, docs, your staff hear it. And so we think, how in the world are people going to pay us cash money for, these services when they can't even pay $25 copay? And it's because they complain about a $25 copay when it's something they need. When it's something they want, they pay willingly and happily for it, cash, and don't worry about if insurance pays for it. So all the systems that I teach, all the things that I do, what I show you how to do is I show you how to sell people what they want. And you do that, you produce the results of giving them what they want by helping them with wellness. Right? That's what I love so much about this. The only true way to really help people heal, we all know, is by improving their wellness. So we help them heal in specific targeted ways to lose weight that is also improving their wellness. We help them stop and reverse the anti-aging process in ways that's helping them improve their wellness. And now that's how you sell people what they want while giving them what you know that they actually need and should want, even though they don't. Okay. So I have many different products and services and systems that actually help doctors just like you provide services that people want, right? While showing them how to be well. So on the top are all my different products that, treat everything from acne to fine lines and wrinkles to cellulite to stretch marks to pain, inflammation, chronic, chronic problems like fibromyalgia, things like that, to weight reduction, body contouring, neuropathy, pain, inflammation. But not only do my products just do a service, but I teach you, if you look on the bottom of that slide, I teach you the entire turnkey systems of how to make them work, how to produce the patient's wellness. So unlike every other company on the planet, I'm not just selling a product, I'm selling you the systems that I designed and used in my own practice to bring in millions of dollars. And I've helped 427 other doctors bring in hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars themselves each, right? Doing the same things that I do. 427 docs, just like you, have proved that what I'm doing works. What I teach you works, and the patients get well. Right? That's what makes this different. That's what makes me different. That's what makes my equipment different. That's what makes everything that I do different than every other company or system out there, is I'm doing all of these programs and systems in a way that helps the patients become well, not just treating a symptom. Otherwise, we're just like, everybody else out there in the world is just treating symptoms. So how do I do this? Because I have marketing that I show you and give you. All you got to do is go place it in the paper, right? I give you the practices and the turnkey systems and the procedure manuals to actually work with the patients. I give you the protocols that are not just something that I thought up in my head that might work. It's protocols that have actually been proven by over 100,000 different patients, right? Millions of treatments on my equipment and machines showing us that this works, right? And I do it with money back guarantees, right? I'm the only one in the industry, probably in many industries, that actually provide multiple money back guarantees, because what I do works, right? My biggest, most boldest money back guarantee says that I will guarantee to double your investment in 6 months or less, or I will give you your money back. And I put that in writing, no fine print, no, exclusive weird things that you have to do in order to keep it in force and that nobody could possibly actually do. Like, it's actually just simple. I will double your money in 6 months. And if not, I give your money back. Right? It's that simple. You send the equipment back, I return your money. So some of my other guarantees, again, most of my competitors have no guarantees, right? But I have 4 of them, right? First one is the best results, knowing that, hey, we all as docs know what's the most important thing is we have to get patients results. And if we don't, all the money in the world makes no difference, because the patients aren't happy and we don't want to deal with unhappy patients. We got into this business to help people, and that's what my systems do, guaranteed. 60 days to make sure my systems work. If it doesn't work after 60 days, send it back for a full refund. No hard feelings. Sorry, it didn't work, right? 99% of the people keep my equipment past the 60-day mark. Right? No downtime guarantees, meaning what? That when the machine breaks, I send you equipment overnight if you can't use that equipment, so you're up and running the next day. I'm a doctor, and I have been a doctor just like you in practice, and I know what it's like to cancel patients when equipment breaks. It sucks, right? And so because my equipment is made in the United States, I can give those guarantees that almost nobody else can or does actually give, even if they maybe could. And then the last one is the turnkey systems to make you to double your money in 6 months or less. Again, I already talked about that, but that's something I do in writing, no fine print. Right. So if you're at all interested, if you're seeing that, hey, some of the stuff I teach is just simply easy and simple to do and anyone can do it, and you can see already that it's going to be easy and make a difference for you if you just went and did it, check out some of my other trainings. Check out my actual webinar, vivaz.com/webinar on my machines, on my equipment, on how that's going to help you in your practice, right? If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call. That's my personal cell phone number. If you have any questions, feel free to send me an email. That's my personal email address that I answer myself personally still to this day. So thanks for watching, but most importantly, don't just watch, go out and do this. Go out and memorize those 2 lines that I asked you to memorize. Go out and get those gift certificates printed up, right? Do those systems, because when you do, you'll see that they produce results for you. So again, go to vivaz.com/webinar, right? If you liked my training that you got today, if you like my other trainings you've been watching, find out what I all have to offer. And that's the webinar that tells you all about my products and services that I do offer. So hopefully I'll meet one of you guys in a training coming up, or, talk with you at a seminar or whatever it is, but, start implementing what you're learning to make the difference that you're wanting to make, which is why you watch the training. So thanks, and make your day fabulous.